Yeah, and Mike ignores it all the time.
But
Plus, I only like green M&Ms.
No, her contract says she gets so many minutes per year. So we're shaving it like really close.
I must say, I feel like Pam exceeded that because of COVID. I mean,
I know.
I definitely
right?
all the shows that did March and April. I don't know what I was thinking. 6 nights a week. That was nuts.
That was nuts.
Yeah.
But I mean, back then you had nothing to do. Like nothing.
That's true.
That was crazy. Hey, everybody. We are getting ready to record questions. So if you have questions, you're going to get on the show if you ask them. So ask away. Hey, James J. Real quick. You two, did you see that football that I got sent?
I did.
First autograph by Saban. I know you don't like Saban, Scott. But
I'm about to say, that did nothing for me, Mike.
I almost had a heart attack because there's two Mike on it. I mean, I sent me the picture of him hanging out with Saban.
It's very cool for you. Yes.
That's
very cool for you.
Ever. Oh my gosh. I emailed, she's one of my guests at the Magic for Less, and I emailed her back and I said, it's caused this big old problem in the house. Not a bad. I immediately had to run out to Michael's and get a box. I'm like, Riley has never really tore anything up, and I'm not letting it happen here. I put that thing in a box. Mallory's like, you need to get one that has like a thumbprint so nobody can get in. I was like, great idea. But anyway, I got the box at Michael's, immediately put it in there, and then it's kind of like the leg lamp situation. Like it's been moved like 6 times. Like it's got to be in the perfect spot in the house, right? And Pam's like, so you can take that downstairs. I'm like, no, I'm not taking that downstairs. I want everybody to see it when they walk in the house, like in the foyer. Like now it's sitting right under the TV. It's like we're watching TV. I look at the football.
I bet you the more people see you on here, though, then they come to your house, though.
That's true. So
if you really want to show it off, you want to show it
off. That's
probably
true.
That's a fireplace, so I can't really sit it on that because it'll get too hot. I don't want to get too hot. I might have to because I'm going to put up that wall again after Christmas, so maybe I'll get like some kind of, I don't know, pedestal.
Yeah, you'll probably, that's what I was going to say. You'll have some kind of little table behind you, like my Christmas tree.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Actually, I found a bunch of Disney backdrops.
Did you?
I ordered one. It's going to be here Wednesday. It's
on Amazon.
Yeah, it's a Cinderella Castle. Just look at YouTube.
I've seen that one.
I don't know how to look, but I ordered it.
Oh man, this James guy's hating on me. He's like, I don't care for these years either. I'm just being fun because Mike was wanting to wear some festive stuff, but.
Well, because I mean, I get it. Saban was at Michigan State.
Saban was at Michigan State, and then he left us.
Yeah, I totally understand that.
Yeah,
I'm fired up. Okay, let's see. Okay, delete all that. Okay, here we go. What number is this? 1820. All right, here we go. Welcome to episode 1820 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Merry Christmas Eve. That's right. We're if you really like Christmas Eve, today is the eve of Christmas Eve. It's the 23rd, and we're getting ready to celebrate the Christmas festivities, which it's 2020, so who knows what that's going to look like in your corner of the world. But most importantly, don't worry, just have a great time with those that you get to be with, whether it's via Skype, Zoom, FaceTime, what have you. I know that I get together with Scott and Steve Forrester at some point every Christmas Christmas night, and we do the Christmas shot. So we'll have to carry that on. That's right. Distance, 3 states, 3 people. Perfect. All right. So we are going to answer your listener questions as we do. Ricky is actually, ironically enough, she's in Missouri, really close to me for once, and she's unavailable to do the shows. So pinch hitting for Ricky, of course. We have hashtag Scotty G, Scott Gardner up in the mitten. Scott, Merry Christmas Eve.
Merry Christmas Eve to you, Mike. Happy to be on the show. Always willing to be a pitch hitter. And so the bat signal was out, or I guess in this case, the mouse signal was out in the sky. So I had to call in and, fill in for Ricky. So I appreciate it.
That's right. So what's on your agenda quickly for Christmas up in Michigan?
Just some family stuff. We're going to do some FaceTiming, like you said, keep it very limited. I haven't seen my dad and brother. My mother passed away this fall. So it's been a really tough, challenging holiday for us. But going to spend a lot of time, try to keep some of those memories and traditions that we've always had with my mom. So it's going to be an emotional one, but it's going to be a good one, though. Looking forward to it.
That's right. We'll reach out to you. We'll definitely connect over the holiday. I can't wait to talk to you. All right. Also joining us, we have the owner of the Magic for Less Travel, who is magically with us today to answer your questions, but she's actually down in the Sunshine State. What's up, Pam? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas Eve. Yes. Yeah, the snow that we got like in the past couple of weeks was enough to push me down there. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to, there's no better place than Disney World at Christmas time. So I'm going to experience it and do it. And this year, I'm just still anticipating that the crowds are going to be much less than they have in past years. So.
Okay, so on Christmas morning, I'm going to FaceTime you. I want to see the Christmas Day parade.
Yes.
Street. I want you in pajamas. I want Hannah and Steve in pajamas. I want to see the guys, the toy soldiers, all that stuff.
Yeah, and the onesie. I'll be the one in the onesies. That you see those people wearing the Christmas onesies. Yeah.
So that's my question. What? I'll start off the listener question show with a question of my own. What do you two feel about pajamas in the Magic Kingdom?
What do you feel about pajamas in society? As I think, it's like all of a sudden December hits and everybody thinks they got to wear like thermal pajamas to Walmart, to the grocery store. I'm like, dude,
yes,
it's 6:00 in the evening. It's not even time for I go to bed early. But I'm just saying, Pam, what do you think about it?
That's how I feel too. I'm like, maybe this makes us also old school, but like, when did this become okay? Like pajamas and Uggs. Is that an outfit that you wear outside your home? I didn't think it was, but lots of people do. So
I don't even own pajamas. As Pam knows this, we've traveled together. Like I wear like golf shorts to bed. like what is pajamas?
It's not upper class. He wears a collared shirt to bed. He makes
Scott pops out of bed ready to play golf.
Yeah.
You never know. But you got to get like a 6 a.m. tea time. You just
always got to be prepared.
I don't know. Like, and that's what I always say too. Like, what goes on in your normal life that your regular clothes are so uncomfortable that the only way you can be comfortable is to wear pajamas? Like, maybe you need to rethink other aspects of your life. So,
well, that's the truth. I mean, honestly, not a whole lot's changed because I've worked at home for 3 years. But I mean, since we haven't really gone out to eat ever, that was like the one time I put on my go out jeans, right? Every, a few times a week, I tell Pam, oh, we're going, back in the day, we're going to Las Fuentes. I got to get on the go out jeans, and just my regular jeans. But now it's like, dude, I wear Nike sweatpants and athletic attire since March. I mean, no, I'm not kidding. It's just like, it's like acceptable pajamas, basically. So.
No, to me, I don't really care if other people wear them. I'm all about look, whatever. But like, if Hannah tried to do it, I would tell her no. So I guess that's where I stand.
The pajama bottoms don't have pockets. I need a pocket somewhere.
Right? Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
All right, let's get to why we're here. We're here for listener questions. And if you have pajama things, it's Scott at BRGuestPodcast.com. Send me. I'll have to set that up for this weekend or something. All right, James has a question. It says, next year will be the first time we've stayed on property without the Disney dining plan. Any tips on good value eating while paying out of pocket? My kids are used to eating like kings, and I don't want to shatter that illusion too much. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, James. Scott, what do you think? Because I know a lot of times you guys do some table service at least once a day, and sometimes you don't do the Disney dining plan. So tips for trying not to break the bank, but eating well, enjoying the trip.
Yeah, so when it comes to table service, my go-to, I always hate to say this on the BRGS podcast, though, but I think Olivia's is a great value for table service. I know, I said it, Mike.
Great value, it is.
It is a really good value. I love that buttermilk chicken. It's, and it's a homey place. I really like enjoying there. I like the atmosphere, but I think that brings a really good value when you compare to other similar types of table service restaurants for breakfast and dinner, too. I like both meals.
Right. My tip too is if you're used to being on the dining plan and your kids, because I totally get that. Like kids don't understand the economics of a trip. They just know like, okay, the last 3 times been to Walt Disney World, we did X, Y, and Z. And they just, it's not anything against the kids. They just think it's going to happen on trip 4, even though the circumstances may be different. I would say if you're kind of trying to, rein in the purse strings just a little bit, you could go to your table service meal at lunch. Or maybe do some kind of a late breakfast and see if you can, kind of have a similar meal and get a little bit of a break on the price because they tend to be more expensive at dinner time by a little bit. And if you do that over 4 or 5 days, you're going to save, maybe the cost of a full meal or 2 by the end of the trip. That's an option. And you could still go to the same restaurants, but maybe switch it up and just really, it's kind of the mindset you put the kids into, like, okay, we're going to go to this real nice lunch and then we're going to snack at night and do a counter service. We're going to have Pecos Bills, but then we're going to get popcorn, and ice cream. And I don't know. It's just kind of how you sell it to the kids. So Pam, any other suggestions for that?
I think too, one of the great things is, especially right now, we seem to be in one of the times when there is a festival at Epcot. Almost, it's down for a couple of days, then it's back up. And I think that that's easy to do too, and that's an easy way to save money as you're going there and doing a little thing to get a couple things here, a couple things there. That's good. I think if you look at any of the table service locations that are not signature table service locations, most of them offer some pretty good values. I mean, just to name a few, Kona has some good choices and they aren't too expensive. Grand Floridian Cafe has some as well. The Wave does too. Those are all options that are table service and sit down, but still they keep the prices more in check there.
All righty. So enjoy that trip. Thomas Hildebrand in the live chat has a question. He says, fun question. And we always like fun questions. But I don't like candy bars in fun size, because fun size just means not enough. Yeah, exactly. Teeny tiny. Fun size is only fun if you have like 5. Okay, so since there might be, exactly, and then you're like, oh, that's not great. I shouldn't have had that 5th one. Anyway, since there might be a new relief package coming in, it's rumored it'll be about $600. Say that you have $600 down at Walt Disney World. With COVID implications, what would you spend it on? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Thomas. So I don't know what that means with COVID implications, right? I mean, if I have 600 extra bucks in my pocket, which who knows if we will or won't, basically, what would you spend it? Like, say, let's say the big man's coming tomorrow night, right? And he throws $600 in that stocking and says, got to use it down at Disney. Well, like, what do you have your mind on, Scott? Like, have you seen something in the last, like, few trips that you're like, it's in that range. It's too expensive really to get, but if Santa dropped 600 in the old stocking, you grab?
That's a tough one. Like, I probably throw it towards more signature dining, to be honest. Like, one of my favorite things about going to Disney World is the dining. I just love, like, and right now too, because it's a place where you can take your mask off too, right? So it's nice, a nice break from the day. You've been in the parks with your mask on, and you just want to relax and have some good conversation with friends and family. So I would throw it towards like a nice grab all my people, like we're just going to do it up. We're going to do drinks, cocktails, appetizers, desserts. We're just going to have one massive meal with the stimulus.
And you know what? That's really smart, because if you think about what the stimulus is, it's that you spend it, right? And that you spend it in a way that it employs people, it generates, revenue for businesses and so forth. And, you'd be taking care of a server, you'd be keeping people seated at the restaurant, everybody be making memories. Great idea. I like it. So Pam, what do you think?
Yeah, I love that idea. I think that's a great thing. And I know that I'd be spending at least some of ours on food and drink for sure. I think I would look at some merchandise, just some things like that. Maybe, every now and then we're all down there and you look at this thing and you're like, I want that. And then you think to yourself, that's absurd. Like, literally, I am not either it's too expensive, or I'm never going to use that, or I'm going to take it home. And then where am I going to put that? But gosh, it feels kind of good to buy some stuff like that every now and then. You're like, you know what? I'm going to throw caution to the wind here, and I'm just going to buy it. So I don't know, like magic bands, for some reason, I was one who was like, why are people buying all these magic bands? You get the band for free. What do you care? I will have to say I am such a convert in this space, because I love all of the magic bands, like the different colors that you can't get, that you weren't able to get when the magic bands were still included with your stay, all of that. So I love that. I might buy, some magic bands there, I will say. And like jewelry, there's always something jewelry. And I'm not even really a big jewelry person, but I buy it. I like it. It's one of those things. So,
okay. Real quick. Mine would be, and I'm so boring and I'm not using it for what it should be. I would just put it away till annual pass. I would renew my annual pass. I put it towards my renewal, because I would think I'm going to make all these memories, out of, and that would be a huge chunk, because what I do every year is I save all my Disney Visa points, and then that is usually in the ballpark of most of an annual pass for the next year, the renewal. And that's what I use my Disney Visa points. It's so boring, but it's like, hey, I get another year of memories, right? Making, having a good time, going to a place I love. So that's probably what I'd use it for. Not perfect use. Scott won on that one. I got a hot take though for you, Pam. I was thinking about this the other day, and I want to see what Scott thinks too. Hot take. 2021 is the year that magic bands die. They're no longer, you rarely see them at the end of 2021. And I say this because
incorrect, I say.
No, I don't know though. I don't know. I say this because of Scott. Okay, so when I was down there at Caribbean Beach, right? We were making the switch from Riviera to Caribbean Beach, had all my junk. We're trying to go get something to eat or something. And I'm just dropping my stuff in the room. Of course, what happens? Magic Band does not open my door, right? And I'm in what's it called? Not Montenegro. What's the name of the building? Martinique. I knew it was an M.
How can we help you? We don't know what you're trying.
Yeah,
I'm in a blue building. It was building 25. Anyway, so Magic Band, boop, red light, boop, red light, boop, red light. I'm like, oh, you're kidding me. And it's check the number. Yep, it's right room. Scott's like, dude, pull out your phone. It opens your door. I'm like, oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. Pulled out my phone. Bam, that door opened. And I used it every time. I didn't even get my Magic Band fixed. And with an Apple Watch, it was easy enough to just, it was basically a Magic Band for charging. So I didn't use the Magic Band for 3 days, and I was totally fine. And I'm a big Magic Band fan, but it's not. No, it didn't seem.
I disagree. People that stay off site, they can't even use the Magic Band to charge or do anything else by Magic Bands. Like people love them. It's sort of like first of all, it's an accessory that's like $25 or less first,
right.
And I think it's a little opportunity to show some of your personality, and everybody else is wearing them. So
true. I don't know, Scott, where do you fall in the
I'm in the middle because am I right where like they're not like complimentary anymore? Like starting in 2021?
They're not complimentary with your stay, but they're only $5, I believe.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I mean, they're still like inexpensive, right?
Yeah.
And I think they're for like people like us, like I'm with Pam. I'm on Team Pam here. Like I love collecting them. Like I see a new color, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta have that. Or I'm at Food and Wine and they have like a special 25th anniversary one. Like, oop, gotta buy that one. Like I fall into the trap. And I've even bought them as like gifts for like my family who don't even go to Disney. Like my dad has a favorite character. You know what? I see a Magic Band. I'm gonna buy that for him, and he can do whatever he wants with it. He'll never go to Disney, but he has a Magic Band.
I know, it'll be like those commercials where like people were trying to like tap in, at home and stuff. It's just there's something about the Magic Band, I think. I do.
And I love it as a DVC member when I go in and it turns purple and it tells me welcome home. Like I love that.
I do get jealous when Scott goes in front of me. I'm like, it does nothing. And I'm an annual pass holder, but it does nothing. Boop.
They should do something for APs though with that.
Yeah. Sure. Totally. Anyway, you're right. I mean, they are fun, but I just think I got a kick out of my phone because it would do had like a star thing, whoosh, door unlocked. And I was like,
yes. And I'm glad that you like that, because the last, like my Disney Experience update, which happens like every other day, but whenever I open the app and try to unlock my door, totally crashes the app for me.
Oh my gosh. And that's the whole thing. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter say the last thing I want is to have to use my phone to open my door at 10 o'clock at night because my phone's always dead. And I'm thinking, man, battery management. I have 7 batteries on me at all, external batteries. I am never going to have a dead phone. Trust me. If you need, I'm a mobile power plant.
Yeah, Steve gets squirrely under 50%.
Me too. I start freaking out. Yeah, exactly.
Why can't it just be face recognition though at the door? Like, why can't it just look at my face like it does on my phone? So I don't, one less thing to get out of my pocket or a purse or wherever. Like, I just want to recognize my face
or something.
Yeah.
Maybe it does. We just don't know yet.
Maybe.
Okay, back to the questions. Michael's got a question. Do you think annual passes will go back on sale by April? Nobody knows, right? I mean,
I don't.
Who knows?
I think getting the park hopping back was step number 1. I really truly do. I think we're moving in that direction. So I think we'll see how that goes, and that starts really soon. That'll be nice to see. And then I think that hopefully we'll get those back soon.
All righty. Kristen Cassidy in the live chat says, I need a resort recommendation. We almost always stay at Port Orleans, but we're looking to go next year. with no opening day, where would you stay? So a 2021 trip right now, of course, we cannot book French Quarter or Riverside currently. Now, this could change, who knows? I mean, I don't think it'll change by the time this podcast comes out, but about 17 times this past year, amazing stuff has happened between recording and publishing. No, but I don't think it will. So if you want something to replace kind of that sweet spot of a French Quarter or Riverside, Pam, what pops into your head first?
So, I mean, the other two moderates you have are Caribbean Beach and Coronado, and I'm such a fan of both right now for a few different reasons. Caribbean Beach is really, it has the Skyliner, and it has the Skyliner, and it has the Skyliner, and that's like the number one reason why I like it. It also has some interesting dining options. So gosh, I really hope that we see Sebastian's open back up, because I thought that was a quality dining location. But even without it, you still have Banana Cabana, and you're within walking distance of the Rivs, so you can enjoy the dining opportunities there. Coronado has been my favorite moderate for a really long time, and I think it's just because it does feel like a deluxe light. The accommodations, I think, are really sort of stylish and contemporary, but still have a Disney touch. And it has a lot of dining and recreation options too. So I have a hard time deciding between the two of those. I really, truly do. But if you have a family of 5 and you're looking for those moderate rooms that accommodate up to 5 guests, then you're going to have to choose Caribbean Beach, because that is the only choice you have, unless you're going to go into Coronado and stay at Grand Destino. There are some rooms that accommodate 5 or more, but they're going to be pricier options. So that's what you got.
I'd say kind of a little different take on that, because right, Caribbean Beach and Coronado, I think that's a great opportunity to explore somewhere else in the moderate category. But what about Wilderness Lodge, especially if you're a Riverside fan? I think they're both rustic. Especially if you're like an Alligator Bayou kind of person at Riverside. Wilderness Lodge and Animal Kingdom Lodge are kind of that very first entry into the deluxe resorts. They're not quite as expensive as like a beach or yacht or boardwalk or, one of the monorail resorts. I just think they have kind of this Wilderness Lodge and Riverside have a similar feel to Alligator Bayou. Not a huge step up in price, especially if you can catch a discount over at Wilderness Lodge. And kind of a nice that was my first deluxe resort, was Wilderness Lodge from a Riverside. So it might work. So Scott, any other suggestions for
I had a really weird thought process here. I was like, oh, Riverside, maybe they're Disney Springs people, because you can take the boat from there, which is one of my favorite things to do. Obviously the boat's not working right now from any of those resorts that are close to Disney Springs, but I was thinking Saratoga could be a fun little option to try. Like maybe they always do moderate, so they want to splash their feet into deluxe. I was kind of thinking the way you were, Mike, with maybe like a Wilderness Lodge, but I thought Saratoga would also be a fun little option too. They're renovating their rooms and they look spectacular. I'm just
so nice.
Oh my gosh, I want to stay in one of those so bad. They look so great. And I was thinking Saratoga could be a good option.
Yeah, Pam, did we get a survey from Disney on the travel agent side saying, maybe I saw it somewhere else, but there was a kind of a survey that went out to guests, and the Saratoga rooms were just getting rave reviews on the remodels. I saw that somewhere. Maybe I thought it was on one of the emails they sent to the agents, but maybe not. But it was somewhere where they said, they had surveyed a ton of guests about Saratoga's remodeled rooms, and they're just getting unbelievably positive reviews.
Yeah, for sure. And a little plug for the Magic for Less Travel's YouTube channel, because we have video walkthroughs of the studios and the 1-bedroom. So those rooms are beautiful. I've stayed in both of them, and I was really impressed. If you like the Riviera, you're going to love these rooms. They're basically the same kind of rooms. And they feel so much more contemporary. They really took Saratoga Springs and brought it into this century, which it needed. Yes, it really did. And now they're great. They're really, really great. So,
is it true though, Pam? It's just the preferred rooms right now, but they're working on the rest of the resort. I
think there's more than just the preferred rooms done, but the preferred rooms are definitely done. So if you want to be sure to get a renovated room, then definitely book a preferred room. So.
Awesome.
All right. I like this next question because I definitely have an opinion on this. This is from Mark McGuire. Oh, wait, it's Matt McGuire. See, I was thinking it's 98.
St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah, I was like, Sosa's going to be up next with the following.
Uh,
Oh, God, those are the days. The great home run chase at 98. Oh, man. I love that. Anyway, what section of the cruise ship do you recommend, forward or aft? The best deck in the newer ships. Okay, so
I think we all had the same answer, actually.
we've actually had boom, 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 3 statements in a row, and it's aft, baby. Especially if you're an adult. If you have adults that are going to go to, actually, I don't think it matters, but especially for the adult areas on the ship, and those aft balconies are incredible. They're huge, and especially if you maybe have a couple people going together, you can pull the dividers down. I mean, it's like a dance floor out there outside your stateroom. So we all agree, right? Aft.
yeah.
Yep. And if you have to stop at Castaway Key, I love aft too, because the way you like back into the island, you have a great view. It makes for a great video too. If you're just out there when you're starting to dock, I love aft.
I do too. And I think the other thing about it is, even if you don't have an extended balcony, even if you just have a regular balcony, there's something about the wake of the ship, being able to look out the back and just gaze at that. And seriously, I know I've spent time on just about every cruise out there on my balcony, just watching it. It's expansive. There's something about it that you can't see anything but the ocean and the wake of your ship, and that's a really cool view. So yeah, and I love that we're talking about cruising. Come on, cruises.
How about Disney Cruise Line announcing some new itineraries, just dropping them on Monday? That was crazy. Hello.
I'm ready to jump on the first cruise, man. I'm ready.
So you guys know, like the Pluto TV is like one of my things. It's like a free app. You can get it on your Roku, on your Apple TV, and I have my TV down here right behind me in the studio. And as I work all day, there's a Love Boat channel. It's 24/7 Love Boat, just nonstop. And I've seen like every episode like 7 times at this point. And I keep seeing this one with Mark Harmon, the guy from NCIS, and he's probably like 20 in it, and he's getting married, but like his bride runs away. They're in Skagway. Oh, I just want to get on a cruise ship. Exactly.
Oh my gosh, I know which episode you're talking about.
Oh my God. I'm always thinking like the old people, because she calls off the wedding. So like 2 old people, I can't exactly remember exactly what. I'm always working while it's going on, but like they decide to get married instead because, hey, we already have a minister and all the guests are here, so we'll get married. You know, and then he runs back, and of course everybody. It's so funny too, because they have the bachelor party on the ship at the Pirate Cove, like Gopher's bar there, and like. Dude, the captain's at the bachelor party, Gopher and what's his name? Isaac. They're all there like they've known the guy for 20 years. We understand, right? I mean, by like day 5 of a 7-night cruise, like we're in with the staff. Like, they could all be hanging with us.
Mike, you and I are normally in by the first one. First night.
Plus,
and with the bartenders.
Yeah, how about the theming of that bar on that ship?
Oh God, I love it. If I could do my basement like the Pirate Cove, dude, I would do it in a blink. If like all the girls are gone right now shopping as we record, I would love for them to come home and all of a sudden the basement's just the Pirates Cove or the Acapulco Lounge, right? In earlier seasons.
There you go.
That was my jam. Anyway, all right. I could talk about Love Boat. I should start a Love Boat podcast. All right, Shannon's got a question. Hey guys, going down in April after a delayed August trip this fall, staying off property, when do you suggest booking those park tickets and reservations? Soon or by February? One person in the party may not be able to come last minute, and I don't want to get stuck with 4 days of park tickets if you can't go. Suggestions for that. Thanks. Have a good Christmas. It's snowing finally in the Mitten. Yeah, we don't have snow. Actually, it's like 60 degrees here as we record. So,
oh wow,
I know, it's beautiful. It was 45 this morning for my run at 5 a.m. I'll take that. All right, back to the task at hand. I'm very distracted the day before Christmas Eve. Pam, what do you say? I mean, I tell everybody just book them early as you can because you never know, and it's their limited availability. People are getting shut out like on January 1st for some parks, stuff like that. So, what do you say, Pam?
I agree. We always tell guests to go ahead and book those park reservations as soon as you have tickets in hand or a resort reservation. I understand you're staying off site. That makes it a little more challenging if you have someone who may not be able to go. That's actually one of the great benefits of staying on site is that you can book a package that includes tickets. And if later on you need to cancel someone from that package, you aren't stuck with those tickets. So that's a huge plus for staying on site. you may want to consider that, especially because there are some really great deals out there. There's another deal that will be announced on January 5th. So see if it's in the budget. Some of the Disney hotels are so inexpensive when you're taking a look at stuff like that. And the special that's coming out on the 5th will actually give you 2 additional days for select tickets in your ticket, including your package. So consider that. If not, the other thing I could suggest that you do is go ahead and make the reservations for those of you who already have tickets, and hope that when that other person can purchase tickets that he'll be able to go, and then you aren't stuck with that. So you can hope that those parks are still available.
Tough person to make up their mind. Let's go.
Right.
That's just how it is. No, we know there's other circumstances, but mentioning that special that comes out on January 5th, here in a couple of weeks. The good news about that one is it's valid for travel dates into September, actually towards the end of September. So the good news is, this is what I tell my guests, because I've had some questions about it. And, it's good to try to get that one right now. And, it may or may not work out better with an upcoming room discount that could come out, say, spring or early summer for those dates or what have you. But, what I always say, let's get something, and let's lock into that, and then always try to improve, right? I think that's the plan. And, more time in the park is always fun. So Scott, some people have passes, some people don't, but hey, buy 3, get 2 free, always a good deal.
Yeah, I can't add much more there. I was kind of agreeing with Pam. Like, if you could swing it, I would look into your options for on-site. There are some great discounts out there. There's so many conveniences to staying on-site, and you just book it now, and then if you have to make a change, then you can easily make a change. So,
right. Okay, so here's one kind of speculative question that I think is interesting, and we'll wrap it up with this one because, again, it is Christmas Eve. We got cookies to eat and stuff to do. Alfred asks, do you think Reflections will ever be built? So, Scott, you're a DVC member, and this was going to be actually, let me ask you, and so Pam, you're a DVC member too. What were your thoughts on Reflections? Was this something that you were super excited about, like kind of excited about? I mean, what were your thoughts, and do you think it's going to come around eventually?
I was excited about it. Hello, I'm trying to pull sound like Pam here. Hello, a new resort. Yeah. Like, what's not to be excited about a new resort? That's right. The best part of a Disney vacation. So yeah, I was super excited about it. Like, I didn't have a whole lot of details on it. Like, when they released that announcement, I didn't say oh my God, I had to buy DVC here or anything like that. But was I interested? Absolutely. I just love having more options. More options is a really good thing. So I was super excited about it. To your later question, I don't know. I would lean towards that it is not going to be built now. I hope I'm really wrong there, but I'm really leaning towards that they will not be building it.
The way I see it, again, kind of like you, I love resorts, right? I llove staying in new places, and forever, I think I've said this about a few months back, is that when I first started going to Disney, I was not a DVC member, still am not. And, the time isn't right at this point in my life, but I was always one of those people who, when I went on the Walt Disney World website or talked to a travel agent or what have you, I never considered any of the DVC resorts because I thought I couldn't stay there, right? I'd see, I'd skip through Saratoga to skip, Beach Club Villas, skip, Old Key West. God, I love Old Key West, skip. I skipped that forever and I love that. But I'm like, oh man, I can't believe I skipped that for so long because I love that resort. And the thing is, like with Reflections, obviously I want them to build it because I would love to stay there just, as a regular guest when I had the opportunity. And I think it's one of those things, though, if you kind of think about Pop Century after 9/11, right? They didn't finish the other side. It just kind of sat and sat and sat. I'm glad Reflections didn't get to that point where it's partially built and kind of like in limbo and just kind of sitting there like a scary building. At least it's just, they cleared the ground and it's just kind of a big hole in the ground, not a hole in the ground, but just a flat piece of land. But, 10 years down the line, it could be sitting there. I think the good news is, and again, crossing my fingers here at the end of 2020, I think the economy is going to bounce back quickly, more quickly than a lot of other situations, because we have the opportunity with hopefully this vaccine that everybody can get back out and everything can get back to normal and more quickly than I think other situations warrant. Maybe they could start building because that's good for everybody. It's good for the economy. So Pam, wrapping this up, what would you think? Like Reflections, is it ever going to happen? What do you think?
I don't know. Sometimes when things like this don't happen when they're supposed to, Disney kind of then sort of tables them. And that's what I'm kind of worried about with this resort. Not because I don't think it's in a great location, because I think it is in a great location between Wilderness Lodge and Fort Wilderness. It would be, I'm sure that they would make some kind of more formalized walkway there between the two. And I think that the concept was actually really interesting too. I loved it. Like Scott, I was excited about it. And I always love when there's going to be a new resort. I'm ready. I'm like, when's it opening? Let's get there. I mean, it's that kind of thing. It's that I love the resorts as much as the parks. I love the resorts. So I was excited to see this, but I'm kind of leaning toward it may not. I think that Disney will absolutely bounce back quickly, but I think it'll be a little bit before they're putting more money into resorts probably, which is a shame because they were really running out of space prior to all of this. I mean, we were out of resorts. So.
And then you think with like Riverside and French Corner, like you mentioned earlier, Mike, they're not even opening that resort. Right. So why build another resort when you're leaving one unattended, It's tough.
I'm just hoping though. I mean, like, again, I'm super optimistic in most things in life, but I'm looking at like, say, well, I mean, look at October, right? It's going to be the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World. I'm hoping, again, who knows? I'm hoping by October, every resort is back open. And every room is filled. Now, of course, that first weekend, of course, that gives you all the Disney fans are coming home, right? We want to all be there. We want to partake in whatever we have to partake in. But, I'm hoping, they don't just open like a Riverside and a French Quarter for that weekend. They're going to have to, they're going to want to have it sustained like into November, December. Because, I mean, if you think about it, that's kind of the perfect opportunity for Disney. If you look at it from a financial and a travel standpoint, is that you have, I think the 50th is happening the perfect time, right? You get everybody excited for October 1st, kicking off the 50th anniversary. And then basically you have that momentum to roll right into the holiday season of 2021 and then go from there. I mean, Pam, that's kind of how I've seen. Of course, the holidays don't start October 1st, but I mean, you have a lot of excitement there building through, and then you got hopefully the Halloween parties come back and you have them going on from October 1st on. You move right into Thanksgiving, Christmas, and boom, hopefully everything's back to normal. Again, I'm wishing, but I think it could happen.
From your lips to God's ears. So let's make it happen. What do we need to do?
That's all. Okay, Chris.
The world.
I think we know what Mike is asking for Christmas.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
That's Christmas Eve.
Yeah, that's right. I'm out of here. I'm going to meet Santa socially distant at JCPenney's, and that's what I'm going to ask for. So there you go. All right, we are going to get out of here. We wish you a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays with you and your family. Don't forget, coming up over the next couple of days, tomorrow on Christmas Eve, we have the Holiday Tradition show that we recorded this past Sunday night. A lot of callers calling in. We talked about Christmas cookies from around the country. I hadn't heard of most of them. We had a lot of our listeners do the Feast of the Seven Fishes, which I had never heard of. So that was kind of interesting. We got a lot of Pennsylvania kind of things, Pam. So you have to check that out. A lot of your kind of cookies and stuff from your corner of the world. And we talked about favorite toys from the past. Alfred talked about his Atari 5200 that he got. I only got 2600. I didn't get all the way to 5200. So that's kind of fun. So yeah, that'll be on your feed on Thursday, Christmas Eve. And of course, Friday, it's a Be Our Guest podcast tradition. Pam, Ricky, and I are going to get together and exchange our gifts from the Be Our Guest podcast studios on Christmas morning. So check those out as well. Don't forget, today's show, as always, brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. So when you're ready to get that trip on the books for 2021, we're here to help you make that happen. So just drop by the magicforless.com after you've had, one too many Christmas cookies, or, you're watching your like sixth, college football bowl game or the sixth NBA game or what have you. Is the NBA playing on Christmas this year? I don't know if they are. I think the season's already started, so I think they are. Yeah, pretty sure. Anyway, just drop by the Magic for Less on that new, maybe shiny iPhone you got for Christmas and fill out that quote form. We'll take great care of you. Scott's checking it out. The Pistons playing? You did what in your cup?
If I recall, I think the NBA season tips off like a couple days before. So today, actually, as this is released, and then there will be games on Christmas, if I remember right.
Yeah, it would seem like they would want to. There's NFL games on Christmas Day this year, which is kind of unusual too. So you just get on the phone and drop by the Magic for Us. We'll take great care of you. Also, don't forget, use our Amazon affiliate link as you continue to do your online shopping. We appreciate that. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. A huge shout out to our patrons. Thank you so much for making all this podcasting possible over at patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. Give us a follow on social media, Instagram and Twitter at Be Our Guest Pod and at Be Our Guest Mike. And of course, subscribe to the show over on Facebook and YouTube, and you can get in on the live shows as we record typically on Monday afternoons. All right, we're going to get out of here because, of course, I'm sure you got some last minute gift wrapping to do, or like Pam said, I got to head down and tell Santa what I need for 2021. It's a fun year down at Walt Disney World for all of us, and that's going to happen, I have a feeling. All right, so for Scott and Pam and Ricky, who's here in Missouri but not joining us live here on the show, I'm Mike, wishing you a very Merry Christmas. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Boom. Chris, I am nothing but positive. That's what I try to be. All right. Let me do this.
Yes.
I'll see.
Gotta be.
I need to get Christmas shopping.
How is it 60 degrees, Mike? Like, come on.
It's nice here today. I don't know. It's gonna, but the low on Christmas Eve is 11. So there's a cold front coming. Edited. I think we have enough questions to do another one real quick.
Okay.
So this will be Chris. This won't be Christmas Eve. This will be New Year's Eve. Oh, this will be the day that I'll be in Nashville.
You're going to Nashville?
For the bowl game, maybe. I know Mizzou we have 3 bowls to pick from because they went by your record. We could have picked the Outback Bowl, Tampa. We could have picked the Gator Bowl, Jacksonville. We pick Nashville. Are you kidding me? I love our coach, but coach. He said, my kids will be able to be home on Christmas and New Year's, and their families can drive to Nashville. So I get it. It was the right decision, but come on, dude. Because Mallory's birthday is on January 2nd, and that's when the game would have been in Tampa. I'm like, Mallory, I know. She's like, I don't want to be at a bowl game on my birthday. I'm like, yeah, but you do. I was like,
yeah.
Well,
I want to be where the weather is warm on my birthday.
I know. I was like, I'll go to Clearwater Beach. It's real close to Tampa. We'll get to fly. It'll be fun. Yeah, well, she doesn't have to worry about that now. I cried a little when I saw the announcement on Twitter. Anyway, okay, so let me see what the number is. So real quick. So that one was, what did we say? That was,
you said it was 1820.
That was 1820. Hang on. So it'll be 18. Come on.
1824.
Yep.
Because you count your live shows now as episodes, right?
Yeah, because they make us now because of some kind of like metadata thing. I'd rather not because it throws everything off. Because now for all the years, like everything was every 3 shows, and now it's all every 4. Now, see, now Tanya's in Nashville. Now I'm not dogging on Nashville. I'm just saying, would you rather be in Tampa in January, or would you rather be in Nashville on December 30th? I want to go to the beach. Nothing against. I've never stopped in Nashville, and the team's staying at that hotel with the Ducks because the coach was talking about.
I just had a layover in Nashville.
Yeah, is it what's it called? The Gaylord. It's by the Grand Ole Opry. He said he's excited. His girls are super excited to see the Ducks. I think he said.
Oh yeah. All those hotels have them.
Yeah, like the Ducks come marching out or something.
Oh my God, it just started pouring. It's been snowing, and now it's like I was like, what is this noise? It's pouring out here now.
It's pouring. No, we're pouring rain.
Pouring rain.
Oh man,
Santa's gonna get wet.
That's true. Dang, that's terrible. That's not fun. The Peabody. No, the Gaylord Opry.
Recently, the Peabody does do the duck thing.
Okay, the duck. Yeah, that's right. I want to see the Ducks. Uh-oh, we just lost Pam. She's out. We went over her time limit.
She said we're done.
She'll be back. All right, we're gonna do this. We have more questions. Ask them because we need them. This will be for Chris New Year's Eve.
I was gonna tell her something cool that we did. I was curious if she's done it before.
Pam Forster is ready to broadcast. Yes, she is.
I'm ready to. It's so weird. It like totally kicked me out.
So Scott, that song where the snow turned into rain, that song that I just do not like, that Garth Brooks sang last night. That something Lang Syne.
I don't know.
Dan Fogelberg song originally, yes.
I do not like that song. Anyway,
Pam, have you ever done the art on demand, like from the Riviera?
No.
Oh my God. So we did it, and it is spectacular. Oh my God.
Really? So what did you order?
So the Remy with the apples, like in the dining, we just loved it because we love
that too. Remy was in that thing at first. I thought it was just like a portrait of fruit.
So we ordered that, and like we picked the custom frame and everything.
Yeah.
We got an AP discount on it too, which was unexpected.
Oh,
And it delivered on Friday. Like it took like maybe like 8 business days. Like it got here really quick. And I'll send you a photo of it. It is
okay. Yeah, I want to see it. Yeah,
there's so many options for the art on demand. Like
I have looked through it,
Yeah.
and it's overwhelming almost.
Yeah, it is, because they have like theme park like attraction posters too and things like that. So
talk about that at the intro to the show, because I meant to mention that on that Riviera show we did last week.
So I think every trip now, I think I'm going to make a stop.
You're gonna want to do that. I know that's what I'm out of space though to put art at this point. Like I have a few places that I could maybe, but I know I'll have to take something down to put something back up.
Yeah, Alfred wants to know. So we'll talk about that in your intro. So I'll set you up. Okay, here we go. 18, wonderful. Welcome to episode 1824 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you and happy New Year's Eve, right? We had to do that on Christmas Eve, so we got to do it as well on New Year's Eve. And this year, I don't know, what do we watch? I guess they're going to still drop something in New York. I mean, where we're dropping the ball. I mean, I think we've done that all of 2020, so why not do it on New Year's, tomorrow night as well. This New Year's Eve is going to be a little bit different, but you know what? I'm old anyway, and I just struggle to stay up till midnight, and I'm always at home. So really, this one's not that different. I would not. Let me ask you. So let's get the folks introduced that are on the show today, and because I have a really important question for you guys, which I think I know what your answer is going to be, but I'm not positive. And as I look down at our live video feed as we record live here on YouTube and Facebook, since the last time we recorded, now our guests are in opposite boxes. So I'm all kinds of confused. So joining me today, he is in for Ricky again, and we're glad to have him. He's up in the mitten. Your friend of mine, hashtag Scotty G, Scott Gardner up in Michigan. Scott, happy 2021 almost.
Wow, almost 2021. Just a couple more days left of the show that has been 2020.
Oh my God.
Excited for the new year, ready to wrap up 2020 and excited to answer some listener questions.
Yeah, we did. We had more podcasts in 2020 for our show than we have in any other year because we did a ton of shows at the beginning of quarantine. So it's been a good year for us. I mean, we've had a good time with it, but I'm excited to get 2020 out the door. A few more hours, right?
Yeah. Okay,
so I want to ask you something. We're talking about this in the pre-show, and I wanted to get this in, and we did that show a couple of weeks ago. We talked about the Riv and Caribbean Beach Corner on a Friday, how great that those two resorts complement each other. But one of the things that you did at the Riviera, which I meant to mention because I think it is so cool and it's a hidden gem, was that what's it called? It's got the art on demand.
Yeah, it's called Art on Demand. So if any of you have ever been to the Riviera, there is some gorgeous artwork throughout the resort in the public areas and in the rooms themselves. It's just, I just love it. And we're kind of obsessed with the Disney art. Like we love the artwork of Disney. And if you go to their little shop, which by the way, why is that like the smallest gift shop in the world? Like they really need to
wait time for people to get a Coke Zero out of their little cooler.
Yeah. Like, that needs to be like the size of like the contemporary gift shop. Instead, it's
100%.
Like a tenth of it. It's so small. But anyway, there is a little kiosk by the register where it's an art on demand, so you can go and look through some of the artwork that's in the resort. And what's cool about it, you can select from like 3 or 4 different sizes. You can select a custom frame, and you just kind of build your art piece right there on this kiosk. So there was a piece of art that we really loved. It was this Ratatouille. It's with Remy like sniffing like the apples, or like it might actually be garlic that he's sniffing, but he's surrounded by apples. It kind of reminds me of a scene from the movie where he's talking about all the flavors that you can taste in a bite of food or whatever. It's a really cool piece of art. So Elizabeth really wanted it. It was her birthday weekend. I was like, let's totally do it, and like just see what the art on demand is like. So we did it. You place your order, and it gives you like a little piece of paper that kicks out like a receipt almost. And you take the receipt to the counter, and that's how you pay. I was able to use an AP discount, which is really cool. So I got 20% off. I probably would have gotten a bigger size if I would have known that. Good to know for next time, though. But yeah, anyway, so it's really cool. You just build your own piece. And the lady was saying, like, this might take 3 weeks for it to arrive to your home. I think she was worried about us getting it in time for Christmas, which was no big deal for us. I'm like, yeah, that's totally fine. No concerns there. But we got it like less than 2 weeks later, and I was really impressed with the way it was delivered, the way it was packaged, and I mean, they really took good care of the painting. And this is a big piece. It was like, it's not cheap. It was around like $220 or so, but it's going to sit lovely in our kitchen now, and it's always going to remind us of the Riviera. And I know I've said a lot, but there's so many great options to choose from. Every piece of artwork in the Riviera is an option. Plus, they have theme park attractions too. So if you're a big Space Mountain fan like you are, Mike, there's an awesome Space Mountain piece of art that you can order and get it customized. You don't have to do the frame, but I think getting the frame is really a really nice piece too.
And so, but this was actually, you saw this piece of art was hanging in the 1-bedroom villa that you had. So, I mean, it's really going to remind you of that trip.
Yep, absolutely. There's another great piece that was in that 1-bedroom villa of like a Princess and the Frog with Tiana, like a Tiana's place kind of a thing. And I think we might be ordering that for Emily on our next trip as well. So we have pretty good amount of Disney art in this house, but it is going to be, we're in trouble now that I've discovered this basically.
art on demand could be dangerous. It sounds like.
But it's super cool. I highly recommend I know Pam's really into art, like we are. And if you're just passing by the Riviera, I highly recommend just piecing it out. Like they have nice range of sizes too. You don't have to go super big on any of these because sometimes you want those smaller pieces throughout the home as well.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right. Also, we have another Walt Disney World art aficionado with us. She's the owner of the Magic for Less Travel, Pam Forrester. Pam, Happy New Year almost.
I like that I'm an aficionado.
Yeah, I'm classing up the place. It's almost it's charcuterie.
You're making like new words too.
Right. I'm trying.
So yes, Happy New Year's Eve. Yeah, the Disney art. I love pieces that are like so subtle. You don't know unless you know. You know how that's all over social media now. If you know, you know. Well, I like the ones that you don't know unless you know. So we have this really big piece that I got at Disneyland years ago that was done by Jane Wooster Scott, who does a lot of like towns, like small towns. She paints a lot of towns. Well, this was Disneyland as if looks like a small town, and you can't really tell it's Disneyland. There is the castle in part of it, but most people don't look that closely to it, so you can't really tell that it's Disneyland. And it's a big piece. It's sort of sits in the main area where we are. So anyways, I love Disney art, especially stuff like that. And there's another great piece in the Riviera. It's the cats from the Aristocats. They're all kind of there and they're looking through, and there's a hidden Mickey in it. So many great pieces. If even they just had the art available at the different Disney resorts, it would be worth checking out because they just have so many great pieces. But this is the art on demand. I know I've scrolled through it many a times. We just haven't ordered, and now I'm gonna be looking at that.
I highly recommend. One thing that I thought I can't fully remember, but I think I was disappointed in this. I love the photo by the restrooms when you go past the Voyagers Lounge that have of Walt, and there's one with him with these penguins. And because I love penguins, I just love that photo. Like I don't think they have any of the Walt photos on the demand, which is probably some like copyright reason because they're family portraits, but like it is super neat. Highly recommended.
Real quick, first question. So it is a listener question show, and then we'll get to the other questions. But Alfred's asking, like, what is the range of prices? Like, what are we talking here for, like, the smallest to the biggest that you saw?
Yeah, I think it could be. I hate to get this wrong, but I think it could start somewhere like around $50 maybe without a frame, because you could just do. Because you ever see like the resort artwork, like in the resorts, like a nice drawing of the resort, like they have those options in there too that are like. I don't know what would you call that material, Pam? Is it like paper or like, it's not
they're like a print. They're like a lithograph. Yeah. Yes.
So they have those that you can choose in there too. So you can take an image and you have all these different varieties that you can do. So it really ranges, but I would say probably around $50 without a frame. And then you can just go all the way up to possibly like $350, depending on how big and how fancy you want to get with it.
All right. So here's a question I have for Pam real quick, since it is New Year's Eve. Pam, have you ever done Times Square? Or if you haven't, would you ever endure a Times Square New Year's Eve? Like, I mean, because it looks like I think it's like a young person's game. I'm not saying that we're old, but I'm just saying like it. I don't know. They say under normal circumstances, like they corral you in there. You got to stay in there for like hours and hours in cold weather. You can't go to the bathroom. I mean, no, like I'm a Midwestern guy. No thanks, dude. I struggle to watch it on TV. I mean, have you ever gone to New York City for New Year's Eve, or would you?
I have not. It would be challenging for me. Here's how I would be able to do it. Like if I had a lovely hotel room from which I was able to see it, or that had a bathroom, by the way. Or if I bought some macked out package to do it, where they had a private bathroom to go to and did all of that, which you can do too under normal circumstances. But yeah, to be there with everyone, no, I don't think so. It would be a madhouse, really and truly kind of a madhouse.
Could you imagine like the PTSD you would get if you went back and watched like New Year's Eve 2019? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we've been conditioned for the last 10 months about you cannot be. I mean, I've even seen this, like, and I'm sure we've all done this. Everybody listening to the show, like if you go through your Google Photos and it says, 1 year ago today, 5 years ago today, 10 years ago today, because we've all been together at Walt Disney at Epcot on New Year's Eve so many times. So I'm starting to see those pictures pop up from previous New Year's Eve. And I'm like, oh my, look how many people are in this shot. There's fire shooting out of the dragon's mouth. Everybody's got a drink at Epcot. It's like, what are you thinking, people? And we didn't, it was a different, it's sad to say, but it's a different time 1 year ago. Yeah. I mean, God, you were there. I mean, it's weird when you see those memories pop up.
Yeah. I'm trying to imagine being in China with like the fire dragon going and how close and how on top of each other we are.
Literally on top of each other.
Then have it be 10 degrees instead. And then with thousands of more people, hundreds of thousands of more people, like, no, thanks. No, thanks.
It's unbelievable. All right, so let us get to the listener questions. We're going to the inbox, and Kimberly's got a question here, kind of a simple one. So if you had the choice between the Riviera and the Yacht Club to stay with 3 people, 2 teenagers and an adult, where would you stay? So you get the Riv or the Yacht Club, 1 adult, 2 teens. Now I've already answered this one because I wasn't sure if she wanted this one for the podcast or just to help her out planning. So I gave her an answer, but I want to see what you guys say. So Pam, what advice would you give?
So where are we staying at the Riv? What kind of room?
Okay. All right. Okay. Scott, what do you say?
I say the Yacht Club because of Stormalong Bay with the teenagers. I think they really like that pool.
Okay. So here's what I said. It's kind of the right in between what you both said. I said, would you like me to answer this on the Wednesday podcast? Because it's a great question, but here's what I say. You can't lose either way, but I think you would love the Riviera more, but the teens would really enjoy Stormalong Bay, the best pool on property at the Yacht Club. So I would say, if the teens had to win out just by an inch, I think the teens would love the Riviera. Don't get me wrong. It's got a great pool. But like Scott said, because of Stormalong Bay, I think the teens might prefer Yacht Club, but I think Kim might. I think she definitely wants the Riv. It's just a cool place to be.
So Kim is awesome because my last day was at the Riviera. We did 7 nights there at the end of November, early December. And my next trip in February is at the Yacht Club. Right. So I like what she's thinking.
I didn't think about that. You're exactly right. All right. Sherry's got a question. Hey, BOGP crew, we're going down to Walt Disney World in March. And I just realized my Epcot day is on the opening day of Flower and Garden Festival. Do you think it'll be crazy busy that day? And should I switch? Or do you think I should stick with it in hopes of seeing some Disney podcasters like y'all and some fun food Instagrammers? Okay, I got to stop there. That day you will see food getting pictures taken like nobody's business. I mean, sure, Chef Todd will be down there, giving us all the scoop as he always does. I love his takes because he's brutally honest, like, because he knows his stuff, right? If something's bad, he doesn't say it's good. I like that. She says, I also have my heart set on eating at 3 Bridges, but I don't know if they take reservations, and I'm worried that we won't have access to Coronado Springs since we're staying at the cabins. Any advice on how to get a table there would be greatly appreciated. Also, are kids allowed there, or is it 18 and up only? Thanks. Sherry's down in Dallas, the Big D. All right, first of all, let's take the what should I say? The extra opportunity to see all the vloggers and bloggers and podcasters on day 1 of a festival. Pam, what would you say? Should she go that day and just kind of take it all in, or do you reschedule and say by day 2 it's old news on all the socials?
I may be inclined to reschedule. I'll just be honest. I think that what's more valuable to you is probably to have the you don't need all those people clogging it up, I guess is what I'm trying to think of a nice way to say it. Like, I think that you'll have more time and you'll be able to enjoy it more if you just go and take it in and do all the things that you want to do during that. Now, the thing to note is that it used to be in the past for many of them, they had like sort of a preview day that was sort of before the official day, but they have not been doing that lately. So I think the first day will be much more busy than it has been in the past. So I would reschedule to a little bit later in your trip.
I would say too, especially if you're looking for any of the, like say a couple of years ago when they had the orange bird sipper. I'm looking over at my shelf, right? Those things that people are always like, you gotta have like this day one is good. You probably won't get it, right? But as the festival goes on, they don't run out of those things typically. They might run out that day, but if you go like day 3, day 4, those kind of limited of the kind of things will probably be easier to get. Oh, Scott, would you go day 1 or would you reschedule?
I kind of think the opposite of you there, Mike. I think if you want to get that merch, you want to go on day 1. I could be wrong there, though.
That's going to have to be your focus, though, too.
It is going to have to be your focus, and also if you go day 1, maybe there's opportunity with all these Instagrammers taking their food photos that they're actually not going to eat the food, and you just say, "Hey, can I have that?"
That's true. Yeah, you're not going to eat that. You've already taken the pictures. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because that happened to me when the Regal Eagle opened up. This person next to me, I just happened to be there on opening day. This person next to me ordered like 2 of everything and just was taking photos. It was just one person. I was like, I almost asked her, like, can I help you with any of that? Like, if Ricky was here, she would have asked for the garlic bread.
That's right.
Yeah. Yes. But I think avoiding day 1 is the way to go. I mean, I know with the reservation system now, like it's not going to be like overbooked by any means, but it could still feel crowded a little bit. Epcot potentially could. Does Epcot ever like fill up the reservation days? Like, I don't know, but
we haven't seen it happen, but
yeah,
good. Yeah. This could be like a new social program, like befriend a Instagrammer and then you reap all the benefits. Like, I will stand next to this trash can while you wait in line to get your sushi roll or whatever you have, and then when you get back and after you take all the pictures, like I'll take that off your hands so you can go to the next booth. Like you're helping them out.
You could be like, a caddy.
Yeah, totally like a caddy. That's right. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, totally. Okay, so Pam, what about Three Bridges? It's not 18 and up.
No.
Does it take reservations and they shouldn't have any issues getting there from the cabins?
No, you should be able to. What you'll want to do is you're staying at Fort Wilderness Cabins and you'll just take transportation over to the Magic Kingdom or to Disney Springs and then go ahead and take transportation right to Coronado. And you do not need reservations for Three Bridges. You can just go there. It's sort of a lounge area and you just sort of walk up to it.
So tips for Three Bridges. She sounds very excited for it. So what's your just real quick review of being there?
So Three Bridges is awesome. It's one of my favorite places to go. It sits out there on the water. It's beautiful to be there, especially around sunset, because you get those views and you're looking over at Grand Destino and the rest of Coronado, which is stunningly beautiful. They have a lot of different choices of things to eat. They have appetizers and small plates, but then also things that are more entree, and they have lots of good drinks. They're sort of famous for their sangria and some of their other drinks, so make sure that you check them out too if you're so inclined.
And I thought I saw too, this doesn't have anything to do with Sherry's question, but because you guys, when you were down there with the travel agency a couple of months ago at this point, you guys did Sangria University, but that was kind of something Disney only did for like special groups and things like that. But now that is something that the general public can book as a group event, right? Is that?
Yes, you do. Well, yeah, you would have to have your own group,
right?
Yes, to be able to do it. And I think they're doing that 10 or more folks for that. But yeah, it was really worth doing if you like that kind of thing. They not only teach you a lot about sangria and give you things to sample from, but you get to create your own sangria and sort of see what appeals to you and put in what you really want to put in. So we really enjoyed it.
Cool.
And if you don't have enough people, just ask some of those Instagrammers you met at.
Right? Yes, exactly.
after we take the 17th picture of this sushi roll, we'll go over to, Coronado and
Exactly.
get up on the IG. It's not Instagram anymore. I heard it's just the IG. Follow me on the IG. I'm going to remind me at the end of the show. I got to say that so I sound better. All right, here we go. Sean from South Jersey's got a question. Hey, BOGP crew. I'm happy to say that I'll be celebrating my 35th birthday in the beginning of March at Disney World. I'll be staying at Kidani Village, but have a couple of questions. The first is Sanaa breakfast a sit down or is it takeout? I don't know this one. Does anybody know? For breakfast, is it? Because
I believe that you could sit down, but there's like a to-go offering as well. I'm not 100% certain.
I'm not either. I'll be honest. I'm not either. So,
well, I would.
Maybe you can ask the chat.
Yeah, well, yeah, and if anybody has it in the chat here, we can figure that out. But of course, we could put it up on social media too. But obviously, Sanaa's sit down restaurant. But I know a lot of these restaurants now offer the mobile order where you can grab it and go.
Yes.
Here's the kind of the fun question here. My second question relates to my favorite restaurant, Jico. I always have the best meals and the best old-fashioned cocktails I've ever had. However, there's still no sight of when or if it'll ever be opened in time. What would be a great substitute for Jico? I always love your inputs and keep up the great work. Sean G. He's trying to be like Scotty. He's Sean G. Oh. All right, so let's say that Jico is not back open by March. He's going down for 35th birthday. Wants to have a great time. Loves Jico. Would it be a parallel experience to Jico? Scott, what do you think?
Ooh, that's tough. Definitely like another signature meal. I'm going to, if I had to pick today, I would go with Narcoossee's at the Grand Floridian. Another Jico is really known for some great wine, so I'm not sure if that's what they really like about Jico is the wine selection. But Narcoossee's has another solid wine selection and one of the best steaks I've ever had, and I just love it. And it's a great atmosphere. You're right there on the water. You can see the Cinderella's castle from there, so that'd be a good birthday experience.
I would say that you like Narcoossee's. I would say you're number one on their fan list.
They all know me at Narcoossee's.
That's right, they do. You're like Norm there. Hey, Scotty G, #IG. Here's your table. All right, Pam, what would you say? Kind of a parallel experience for Sean over. He likes Jico, but if it's not an option, where should he go?
So challenging because we're really missing some of our signature locations. Of course, California Grill is available. So I think that would be something that would offer you something, but it's not going to be sort of the unusual or the signature spicing that you sort of get at Jico. That is sort of a menu in its own. It's very unique in that space. If you're open, though, to trying something you might want to look at in Disney Springs, Morimoto's is a really great restaurant. It has a very different feel than most of the other restaurants in Walt Disney World. Chef Morimoto is famous for so many different Asian-inspired dishes, but check out the menu there. And the other place I was going to say at Disney Springs was Hello, which is another really great experience. It's sort of Spanish food, a lot of tapas and things like that. But I'm telling you, if you go to Hello, you have to get the tomato bread. It is absolutely one of the best things I have ever eaten at Walt Disney World, really and truly. And it's just really simple, rustic, great bread, great tomatoes, good olive oil. It doesn't get much better than that. So try that out.
So tomato bread. Okay, again, I'm from St. Louis. I'm not fancy. So is it like a bread with tomato sauce on it, or is it?
No, it's more like grilled tomatoes. It's just so good. It just really is. It's a really good crusty bread that they sort of spread with olive oil and grill. And they have these kind of grilled, dehydrated tomatoes, almost not dehydrated, but like they are definitely cooked down because the flavor is so intense. It's just really, really good. So
yeah, I got to get there. That sounds like my kind of place. And I just haven't been to Disney Springs the last couple of trips because they've been short.
Yes. The small plates are great. They have great charcuterie. Give it a dig. Yes. They have all different kinds of small plates that are so good too there. It's just a great place to hang out.
Can I just plug Disney Springs right now though? We used to not be the biggest fans of Disney Springs, but oh my God, and mainly Elizabeth just didn't like it. I don't know what's wrong with Elizabeth, but with with everything they've done, maybe it's like the downtown Disney is what she really didn't care for. But now, like all this transition, I know it's been a few years, but like we hang out there all the time now. It seems like just even if it's just to go there for like a quick bite at Polite Pig or something, you know, we just love going Disney Springs. I just can't speak highly of it enough.
Right.
You know?
It is. And you, like we talked about Saratoga Springs last Wednesday, you know, that'd be a great combo because you just have so many dining options right there across the bridge. Okay, let's get to Andrew's got a question. She's actually from Webster Groves, Missouri, which is just in South County here in St. Louis. So glad to have her here. She says, do you know where I can find a list of events happening at each resort, like movies under the stars? Pam, do we have this over on the Mouse for Less? Some kind of
used to, not anymore. It's just not available like that. You're gonna have to wait till you check in, and then you'll be able to see some of the recreational activities there. Ask at the front desk, or they actually have that ability for you to chat within the app. After you're checked in, use it there. You'll be the most successful there, because if you're asking too far in advance, I will just tell you right now, it will be an exercise in frustration for you. Don't do that. They don't have the answer to that far in advance. So, and those people will look for it. They will look for it for a really long time, and you'll sort of be there wondering what happened. So, you know, maybe you can try like if you're in the same month that you're checking in. Otherwise, just wait till you get there, and they'll be able to help you with that.
That's right. Alfred in the live chat asks, what is the name of the lounge at Wilderness Lodge, and is it open? Pam, I know this is one of your favorites.
Geyser Point is there, and it is open. It's one of the lounges there. The other one is Territory Lounge, and it is not open right now, which is kind of sad. I really wish it was, because I think like the lounges like that would be a great thing to be open. I think you could be socially distanced and grab some to-go food and a drink there, but they haven't really opened a lot of those up. So, but try Geyser Point. I highly recommend that as well. It's open air, and they have good food, good apps, good drinks.
And Wilderness Lodge does reopen on June 6th. So hopefully Territory Lounge, maybe, you know, once the lodge is reopened, we'll get it back. All right. Abigail's got a question. Hey, BOGP crew, my parents and I are considering going down to Walt Disney World. I'm usually the planner of the group, but so much has changed in the last 8 months. We're a very cautious group. We'll only be doing mobile order and dining outside. I'm not sure if this could be a whole show, but could you name a few places where one might be able to eat away from other people in low traffic areas? Your show has been keeping my spirits up during these times. Thanks. Abby is in Illinois. All right. So kind of the low traffic, you know, let's just say, you know, kind of socially distant, friendly place to eat. So just let's try to give one in a theme park. So Scott, what pops in your mind?
So I think of like Flame Tree, because there's so much outdoor seating there, right, at Animal Kingdom. Because you can go deep into their seating, and it's even on like a really busy day, we've been able to eat way back in their seating area and had pretty much like our private party, right? So I would go with Flame Tree at Animal Kingdom. That's a great spot.
That is a great spot. And that's great food. You know, I haven't eaten there since the Thule Canteen opened. And I feel bad because I used to go there every trip. I love Flame Tree, but God, I just got to get that protein bowl and those little cheeseburger pods. I'm such a creature of habit. I got to quit. You know, I got to start expanding my different life. But
so I'm more of a table service guy, but Mike, like you're right, Animal Kingdom has such awesome counter service, because a Yak and Yeti is another great option too. Like it's really hard to choose when you're at Animal Kingdom.
And Harambe Market. I mean, that's kind of underrated. People never think about Harambe Market. That's open air, a lot of space, and you know, interesting flavors to try out. It's probably not very busy compared to the other places. Pam, what about you? What are you thinking?
So in the theme parks, I think that you're going to have a lot of choices, but I was going to say, if you're looking for things that aren't going to be quite as busy, no matter where you are, you're not that far away from a counter service location that will be available at the resorts near the theme park you're at. So like if you're at the Magic Kingdom, you have the Contemporary, you have the Grand Floridian, and you have the Polynesian to consider. You also are just a boat ride away from Wilderness Lodge and Fort Wilderness. If you're in Epcot, you have the counter service locations at Yacht Club, Beach Club, Boardwalk area. So consider those too, because you're actually going to find so many less crowds there during the day. Now in the evening, things are going to be busy because that's where a lot of people are getting their dinners. But during the day, if you're looking for lunch, that's going to be a good location for you.
Right now, great friend Beth from down in, she's always at the parks, down in Central Florida. Tomorrowland Terrace, since it just reopened and some might not know that. Limited hours, but good option. It is open air and it's tucked away right there, where the dessert parties are.
Mhm.
That's mine and Paige's place, man, because you get those like buffalo tenders. Like I love that. I love it when they're open.
Right now, though, they're serving Columbia Harbor House menu. They got the
are they?
rolls and everything. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. Think about that. You can have Columbia Harbor House and you don't even have to walk to the back of the park. Dangerous. All right, let's get to the last question of the day. Oh, I love this one. You'll like this, Scott. It says it's from Joe. Hi, Mike, Pam, and Ricky, and sometimes Scotty G. Look at that. He knew.
Oh. Joe's my guy.
That's right. I listen to every one of your podcasts on the way to work. Not only is it informative, but it gives me my Disney fix until I can get back to the world. This is a good question for Pam or Scotty G, since he lived on property all summer long. I think I like that. You almost did. I think you've all answered this in the past, but I can't remember the answer. My girlfriend and I are going down to Walt Disney World, and our first day was an add-on, and we're staying at Caribbean Beach. The rest of our stay was to be at All-Star Movies, but Disney moved us to Coronado Springs. That's a nice upgrade.
Nice.
Gotta like that. Thank you, 2020, for that. Can you please go over how moving resorts works with luggage? Will Disney still move them? Do we need to take them to the lobby or leave them in the room? Also, do we need to check in twice? This is our first ever split stay. Also, on a side note, I'll be proposing to my girlfriend on this trip. Hope she's not listening. But not in the traditional way in front of the castle. She loves The Little Mermaid, so it'll be in the Kiss the Girl scene on the attraction.
Oh, that's fun.
We'll follow. Thanks for your help and thanks for the awesome podcast. Joe C's out in Virginia, Scotty G's #1 fan. And I'm just thinking, this proposal, that I like it, but I mean, I'm just saying, Scott's with me. Like, we've done the proposing thing. Dude, it was hard enough on a stationary park bench in front of the Missouri River for me. You got to be ready, man, because that's an omnimover, right? It's not stopping. So, Scott, what are your thoughts on the proposal process first? I mean, on a moving attraction, a moving omnimover.
I mean, why not, right? It's pretty creative. Then every time they go on that attraction, they'll think of the terrible experience it was or the great experience that ended up being. Who knows? I'm all for creativity.
Oh man, I'm just saying, like it's nerve wracking. Like you're sweating, you're on the outside, the inside, and like you're
gonna have to, the lap bar is gonna be on you. Like, so where's the ring gonna be? Are you gonna have to like try to dig in your pocket with like I don't know. That's gonna be, or just have it in your hand already. I don't know. Things to think about, Joe.
Yeah, I love it. Just, hey, you got to shoot for the stars, man. You go big or go home, and that's going big. So there you go. You could stay at, you're staying at Coronado Springs. I mean, just do a night over at Little Mermaid rooms at Art of Animation and get in front of Ursula or something. It's like stationary. I'm just saying, like, practicality. You're nervous enough, man. You don't want to have a lot of moving parts. But hey, write us in. We got to talk about this. We got to probably do a whole show on that proposal. So anyway, all right, Pam, you're the queen of the split stay. Talking about the check-ins, the luggage move, all that stuff.
Okay. Well, so first of all, as far as the check-ins go, you will have to check in for both resorts, but you're going to do them both on your app before you leave home. So you don't have to worry too much about that. You'll go ahead and put in your room preferences and the time that you expect to check in there. As far as luggage goes, Disney will still transfer your luggage for you from one resort to the other. What you'll do is you'll take it to Bell Services, let them know when you're moving to next, and then they'll take it from there. But I always caution people when they're doing this, because this can literally take all day. It's not as if Disney, as soon as you run down there, they're like, oh, we're going to get this over for you right now. We're taking it in a car. No need to worry. I mean, they may do the luggage transfer once or twice per day. So if this is something that you'll want to have at the next hotel, do what I do and grab an Uber or get in your car, take your luggage over to the next resort, check in, hand it over to Bell Services, and then go about your day like you were going to. Then you'll know when you get to your new resort that evening, your luggage will be there waiting for you. And that's a good feeling. So that's what I do.
Yeah. I mean, Joe's staying at 2 resorts, but your luggage might go to 11 that day.
Exactly. Very true. It rides around in the back of some van somewhere. Your luggage is not very cautious. It gets in vans with strangers.
Another recommendation for Joe, like I'm just like freaking out now about the proposal. Don't put the ring in the luggage, man. Like,
yes.
if it gets lost, or like, I don't know when you're planning on doing the Magic Kingdom proposal, but like, make sure, like, I would just keep a ring like on a carry-on bag that you're going to have with you at all times.
100%.
Okay, now I won't sleep till I find out how it went for Joe. Now I'm worried. All right, Joe, good luck. All right, hey, that's going to do it for us today. Don't forget, today's show, as always, here on a Wednesday, brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Check them out today over at themagicforless.com. We're moving into 2021. It's going to be a great year. You know what make 2021 better? Getting your next Disney vacation on the books. You know, whether it's a Disney cruise, those ships are going to get back out. I know they're going to get back out there here soon. We all need a cruise. I mean, we need some vitamin C, SEA, and we have great onboard credits you get when you book with the Magic for Less, of course. Still some awesome early 2021 discounts for the room discounts down at Walt Disney World. We have that new ticket special coming out on January 5th. So that's just right around the corner as well. Bottom line, drop by the magicforless.com, fill out the quote form. We'll take great care of you, and you'll have something to look forward to, something great to look forward to in 2021. Also, please use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon, when you do that online shopping. And again, a huge shout out to our patrons. Thank you for your support here in 2020. You've really carried the load, and I appreciate it so much. And if you'd like some extra content like Mike in the Midwest every Thursday, just visit patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Give us a follow on the IG. It's at Be Our Guest Pod and at Be Our Guest Mike. Twitter as well. That sounds cool. Not really, but I'll say it does. And also slam the bell on Instagram. No, not on Instagram, on YouTube and Facebook. I'm too old to say any of this stuff, so you know what we've said it 1,900 times.
You need to get an outro, just someone to read us out.
I know I should.
A young person. Young person.
You're part of the Patreon, right? Like someone new every week from the Patreon group.
Good idea. Yes, I like that idea. That I could just wouldn't have to say it for the 1900th time. I say this. I wonder if like ever over at 3:30 in the morning, I'm like, don't forget, this show is brought to you. Good night sleep is brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Fill out the quote form, and in 6 hours when I get up and run my miles, then I'll be in the office and we'll be taking care of you. That's my life. That's fun. Who knows? I'll have to ask Pam. All right. Anyway, we are out of here. So whatever you do for New Year's Eve, have a good time. But I'm always telling you, whatever you do, we party on New Year's Eve. I'm always saying, if you're drinking, don't drive. Have somebody take care of you. But this year, you're probably staying home, so just socially distance, and I don't know. We got to save. Do what you got to do. On New Year's Eve, right? I mean, Pam, what are your thoughts on how to tell people to celebrate on New Year's Eve this year? What are you?
Yeah, I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole, but I will say, we're absolutely celebrating this year being behind us, right? But hopefully you can take a few of the lessons you've learned and some joyful events and remember that in 2020, as opposed to all the crap that happened, and do that. And do celebrate. Find some way to do it. If you're not comfortable celebrating with a group, then celebrate with the family that lives in your house. Find some way to do it, though, because you absolutely deserve a celebration. If nothing else, you made it through 2020. So
man, seriously, I remember this time last year, like 2020 sounds like it's gonna be great. It's so 2020 just sounds like a full year. It's all symmetrical and stuff. So, Scott, final words. Like, how should people celebrate? What do you say?
I had to echo what Pam was. Just be safe. If you're comfortable being with others, then just be cautious there, but like there's nothing wrong with just celebrating at home with those that live in your own home. We ended up doing that last year. Ironically, it's funny. Like last year, I feel like we should have gone bigger. If we would have known that we were going to be social.
Right. I know. Seriously, we should have.
Last year. But yeah, just be safe and just think about the positives if there were some. I know it might be challenging to find some positives in 2020, but there definitely are some. And then just look forward to an exciting and safe and happy 2021. Looking forward to it.
That's right. I heard on a radio show I was listening to the other day, they're talking about how, after like with the Spanish flu and all that stuff and, World War I and, coming out of all that bad things right at the end of the 19 teens that we went right into the roaring 20s as a country. So how about 21 kicks off the roaring 20s?
Yeah.
And stuff happening.
There's a lot of good things to look forward to. That's for sure.
Learn that dance. What's that dance they all did? The jitterbug? Is that a proper thing? Kind of like
Charleston.
That's it. Oh yeah, that's our next reel, Scott, right there.
Okay, we'll work on it. We'll have to do it for New Year's Day.
That's it. All right. We are out of here. Whatever you do, stay safe, stay healthy, and Happy New Year. All right, good deal. We'd like bring that thing home.
Boom.
Hey, dude, that was like a 10-minute outro, man.
It was.
It was.
I do a short show and that just killed it. So there you go. Yeah. All right. Well,
all good.
All right. Well, hey, have fun down in Florida, Pam.
Thank you. I will. Well, you guys have a good Christmas and New Year's, and then 2021, we need to get together at some point.
We are definitely
in person together.
In person.
No more of this virtual BS.
I want to see your face in real life.
In real life.
Real quick though. Okay, so even I know we want to do Disney, and I got to get down there too, but Mallory had a cheerleading competition in Wisconsin that was at this place. It was like a big resort, and it was called Kalahari or something like that.
Oh, Kalahari, yeah, Kalahari. Yeah, one in Ohio.
Not the squid.
They said it was incredible. They said this would be the most fun place to hang with like the gardeners and the foresters, because they said, it was like there's like an indoor water park, and there were rides, and
there's totally one in Ohio near Cedar Point. Yeah.
That's something like
easier for me to forest.
All meet
right.
Super far away, like we
all right
or something.
All right.
Well, you come to Ohio.
You come to Ohio.
This was like 6 hours. I mean, I was thinking Wisconsin for you, Scott, because that's probably, I guess you got to go down and around, right?
Sandusky is so much. It's like 2.5 hours.
Oh,
so you come to Michigan, hang out with us for a little bit, and then we go to Sandusky.
But they love this place. They totally want to go there. And like, because they couldn't do anything because of all the COVID stuff, and they were there to cheerlead. So
so we'll make it happen. I'm not going to sit at home anymore. So not that I was very good at it, but I did do.
We weren't the greatest at it either, but yeah,
I did a lot more sitting at home than I wanted.
Well, we just finally got that new car where we can, go on road trips again, and like, boom! As soon as we got it, now we can, there's nowhere to go. So I'm dying to take that thing out and go somewhere.
Come out here.
I know we need to. I know. If I need that cheerleading get canceled, she's got a big cheerleading competition in Indianapolis the middle of January, and I need that sucker to be canceled. Then we have the whole month off. So
there you go.
Indianapolis.
All right, let's take travel.
All right, thank you. Thank you guys.